Alright, so here's my final seatbelt guide modification. Alright, so this one I feel is perfect. If anything, maybe I would raise this a millimeter, but I think it's perfect already, so maybe, yeah, I don't think it's really necessary. So you can see this sits flat like that, okay, and you can see it's almost flush with this here. Okay, and the way it fits on here, we have the headrest already out. It goes into this, okay, oops, so it goes onto this here, just like that, slides on perfectly. You can see it's kind of loose here. All right, and then I'm gonna flip this over, okay, and we're gonna just get these in. Okay, oops, marked up the roof there. Okay, then we got this, slide it down. Okay, so here you can see this is with the headrest up. Okay, you can see what the gap looks like in there. Okay, just about hitting that button there. All right, see underneath. Now we just push this button and push down the headrest. There we go. Okay, so you can see now the headrest goes almost completely down. Here you can see how much of a gap there is right there. Not really much. Okay, there. All right, you have this here. I tightened that gap a little bit, so now it's pretty close to this. I could probably move it in another 1 or 2 millimeters, but I didn't want this sharp edge to be too close to this piece, so I left it like that. Okay, then we just get the seatbelt, and there you go. Because this is angled, I don't know if you can see that, the slot is actually angled that way, so the seatbelt kind of naturally goes in there. All right, and now when you get your seatbelt, you can see it can slide over like that. Okay, and then when you let go, it just goes right there. I mean, it could still hit this wall thing here, but the reason I got this is so if the seatbelt is, or the seat is slid forward, especially if you have a 2-seaters in the back, if you have the 7-seater model, then it's easy to get the seatbelt, because a lot of times people will be like, where's the seatbelt? It's all the way going to be back here. You can see that. It's like really hard to reach this, and I've had passengers complain a lot, so that's why I did that. Keep in mind though, if you have this, the seatbelt is kind of just sitting here, but it only touches like that little bit. All right, and then you have this down here, and again, it can slide over sideways, but it's kind of like stays like that. Okay, so that's the design. I'll show you all the other design iterations that I went through to get to here. It took a long time to kind of finally figure out the right design for this. But yeah, this is the final design. Hopefully you guys like it. If you want one, just let me know. I don't know what to sell it for. It'll be a set of 2, probably for around 60 bucks plus shipping. So as long as you cover shipping, probably 60 bucks for 2. And yeah, that's the design. Right now I got them in white. Eventually, if you want, I could also print them in black. And then I'm gonna be printing them in PETG or PETG. Right now this is PLA. I was using it because it's like cheaper material that I don't really care to waste. But even that is super solid. And this is the material this is using is or sorry, what I did, it's currently like hollow, like this stuff. There's no infill at all. If you want more infill, or if you want it like 100% infill, because it will take way longer to print, I would have to charge probably like $10 more each one of these. It takes like more than double the amount of time to print full. But PETG is very like sturdy. It doesn't crack like PLA and stuff. Instead it just bends like water bottles and soda bottles, like the plastic bottles. So I don't think it's really necessary to make it completely like filled. This part here, because it's so thin, it actually is completely filled. So the strongest, or the part that's thinnest, it's actually filled really well all the way, so you don't really need to worry about it breaking. And because the force is going like sideways on it, and it can't really go down because of the it's resting on here, it shouldn't really have any issues. I'll use this for a while just to make sure it holds up really well. But yeah, other than that, let me go get the previous iterations that I designed, and yeah, I'll be back. I'll let you guys see those. Alright, here you can see all the other design iterations. At first, I was kind of just mimicking the one that I got on Amazon, but that design wasn't too good. It was actually hitting the headrest here. I wasted a lot of filament. I completely filled this one, so it's somewhat a lot heavier than the other ones. And you can see I basically made this exactly the same as the original, except for I added in this curved part here, or the slant of the cut, so that way the seatbelt guides a lot better. Okay, and this one I made the passenger and driver side because I was like, well, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm fairly confident this will work right, but I didn't look at how the original one was designed, and it didn't fit in the headrest hole too well, so it caused this to kind of stay up. Alright, so this design, the seat headrest goes down a lot more. Okay, it's not 100% down. Here you can see like this, it's a little bit further down. There's like a tinier gap there, but it's only like 1 millimeter at most, 2 millimeters lower. So yeah, it's not really much difference. Alright, anyways, so we're gonna toss these aside for now. So that was design number 1. This took like 30 hours to print these two, I think. Alright, then we got design number 2, which again, I thought maybe if I slid this further back, actually let me get these two to compare. So I thought maybe if I slid this piece further back, it will allow it to go inside the little gap of the headrest, and then it can go out, but I was wrong. It was still hitting like here and here, and it was also hitting the button, so that didn't work. Like this part was hitting the button because it protruded out too much or the wrong way. Okay, but also I rounded these edges at that point. I rounded these sharp edges and rounded this edge as well. All right, on the first design I only rounded this one. All right, you can see the rest are sharp. Okay, so this is the second one. Third iteration, I actually took the headrest and then I brought it with me to make measurements, so that way when I slid it in I could kind of see where the headrest hit. I had to make this little cut so that way it could go oh, I can't record it, but I can make it go around this gap here, the headrest, and then this plastic piece there. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but let's zoom in there. Okay, well, it's not getting the right kind of lighting for that. But anyways, I designed that little cutout to make it fit there. Okay, so here you can see the next design. This one, my 3D printer, the spool got tangled and then it couldn't pull any more filament. It was overnight just printing this, trying to print this, and nothing was coming, the filament wasn't coming out, so it got messed up. So that's that one. All right, those are the failures. They still work, of course, but again, they're not the way they should be. Again, so this one, what was going on with that one? So this one, I noticed this part wasn't out far enough. It was hitting the, or was going into like this part of the headrest still. Okay, so what I did was I redesigned it. Also, I noticed because the headrest is like angled here, it's not like straight. I added this angle here. I extended it out further, but I extended it out too much. Anyways, I did that. You can see the redesign. Okay, so I added this cut where it's kind of like not like it's kind of rounded, beveled a little bit. Okay, and then that helped. I found out the gap was too much. I moved it back on the next one 3 millimeters, and then also I found out I could lower this part to go around the button, but I lowered it by too much. So I lowered this, I think like 11 millimeters, so about a little over a centimeter. And then I moved this inwards about 3 millimeters. And yeah, so that was that design. Oh yeah, I also decided I didn't need these raised bumps here, so I removed those, as you can see. Remove those. This one kind of works too, but again, it goes too far down, so then it hits the this button here when you put the headrest all the way down, and then that causes it to kind of go upwards a little bit. Okay. Other than that, this design worked okay. Yeah, and I left it in my car for a day. I didn't have a passenger to use it, but yeah. And then that led to the final design here, which, oh, with the seatbelt in and the headrest going up, it's kind of raising itself up. So then I decreased the amount of this, because before I made it go to the bottom of the switch, but then when it goes all the way down, it hits this. So after that, I moved this up about 5 millimeters, I think. I extended that. Well, I guess that's how I did it on the other one as well. I extended this out a little to pass the button. And then if you notice this, okay, so this one where I extended out, I actually shaved off this excess bit here. Okay, so I shaved that off of this one, because this one, it was getting kind of close to the inside edge of the headrest. So I shaved that off, and I moved that on to the new design as well. I kind of feel like I should round this part out a little bit, but yeah, I think I'll round this part out a little bit. Maybe I'll match the rounded edge of this, and I think that should be it for this design. Yeah, that's pretty much will be the final design. I guess this is the second to last design. Yeah. Anyways, other than that, I'm gonna print the driver's side of that last one that I just designed, maybe with the rounded edge, so I have at least one with the rounded edge to test it. And then if that works well, I'm gonna print it in PETG. But here you can see the force, like it's pretty sturdy. Like I can fold it like that. And this one is currently in PLA. Again, I don't really like to use PLA too much, because over time, I think the plastic absorbs moisture and then it becomes brittle. So I'm going to be using PETG, but this is pretty sturdy. Unless you're purposely trying to break it, I don't think it's going to break. You can see it can like flex quite a bit, and PETG will flex even more. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. That's all the design iterations I did. And yeah, that's the final one. If you really want to kind of help with this, you can put like a piece of rubber or something underneath here. I'm just gonna leave it like that because I think it should be okay. It might make over time some scuff marks on top of this seatbelt piece. But anyways, also let me see if I can show you. You have full access to this. It does kind of go over it a little bit, maybe like less than 0.5 millimeter, but you can easily grab that and use it. Okay, anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Oh yeah, one other thing I forgot to mention. I don't know if you can tell. Well, I think it's pretty clear. The filament, I ran out of one spool on this one, and I had to switch to this filament, which, yeah, I don't know which one actually matches the seats better. In the camera, this filament matches better. I don't know how the PETG is gonna match, but yeah, you can see this one more has like a slight translucent color, and then this one's more like white milky color. Anyways, I don't know if anybody wants these. If they do, let me know. I'll be okay shipping them to you guys as long as you pay for shipping. I'll ship them out to you for free if you want. These are all passenger side seatbelt guides, except for one of them, except for this one. So this one was the first design that mimicked the original one, and that's for the driver's side. So anyways, if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Again, I'll ship it out as long as you pay for the shipping. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.